there was that wisdom. Quite honestly, even today, and this is a number of decades later, I think, what would Tina do? Or how would she handle that? She was like that. Again, something earned and hard won by the experience of a life.
I take in away from something, or I might get an idea simply from the hair, not how you do yours, but the idea of it. So I think sometimes when you reach out and take something, it's too much of a copy, and so that's why you're not as original at making it your own. That's the description. It's you can take from everything because everything comes from something, and then you make it your own. So I think that's the best way.
You've got a formula for how to keep going and plugging and changing?
Well, I'm surrounded with young people and aggressive, optimistic people. Means that if I want to change something, if there's anyone a bit objective, they listen to why it is I want to change it, I get it to make sense to them, and immediately they make whatever changes I need. Youth is very important to me, and that is what has kept me fresh, also with the punk style. I took from that what I needed in style of the hair and a little bit of the clothing, because everything that they do, you can do that with classier clothes, etc. So it's just taking knowing yourself well enough and taking from all of the changes and the progress in the world to adapt to today without growing old.
I'm extremely critical of myself, and I think I became what I am from looking at all the old footage. I corrected myself often. I look at now old footage that you have here, and I think, I changed that. Facial expressions, the way that I stood, all of that was to make myself better, or as good as I possibly could be, and staying myself.
There's something about me. Why does the guys like what I do? Why does all the girls want to take off their gorgeous dresses and kick and get high and let their hair down? They want to get why? Why? Because they've been suppressing something and I didn't. I yelled out, I kicked, I jumped, I did what inspired me. They stuck to the rules. Oh, this wouldn't be very nice. I mean, they were told also I'm self-made. And that's why people pick up on whatever it is that I am about, because I am just natural. I told myself, I learned from experiences. I did what I felt. I do what I feel.
What is attractive about me is my energy of, I'm a friendly, clean person. I've been on the light side for a very long time before I start practicing Buddhism. And in my practice in Buddhism, it helped me to really know who I am. I'm a harmonious person. I'm a friendly, harmonious person. I surround myself with that. You come backstage to my show, you don't feel a lot of hostility, not even from the crew people. It's only love, because that's how I am. That's what I insist upon, because I need to feel that around me. When Ike and I were basically working the black clubs, the energy wasn't the same level, because the black people liked to do the body stuff, and I never had time for that. I passed that when we performed for my grandparents, and I always thought that's why we never really got the market, is because they called me wild, all that wild gal, because I need to spread my wings. I just like the energy of it, James Brown music, where James was mashing potatoes and really moving around, and I wasn't going to stand there. I needed to do that type. Jackie Wilson was doing the splits and spins and all kinds of stuff, and that was the energy that I was as well. The same as the situation is now with people saying, how do you do it? And how do you do what? It's naturally me. It's how I am, which has nothing to do with anyone else or anything else. So it is a form of forceful energy. To say, I demand that you watch what I do and see what I do and accept it, because it is real and it's authentic. I couldn't see myself. Everyone said, when are you going to slow down? When are you going to put on a wonderful dress and a fur? And I said, it's just not me. That just was not me. I just had too much energy left to do and to enjoy. And that is what I just stuck to. I just forget what the odds. People threw the age thing and they threw all kinds of things at me. And I just stuck to what I wanted. It was my dream.
What I felt about losing the black crowd was that they would have to learn to accept me for the work I'm doing now. It has nothing to do with disliking my black crowd. Mm-hmm. It had to do with the fact that I had to love my music in order for them to be able to accept my performances. Mm-hmm. And my attitude about it is that I won. They are accepting me now.
I am getting approval for changing my life and being successful with it, but not really changing. I'm the same person I was. It took that for me to become successful. My attitude about it is sometimes you shouldn't care so much about what people think about what you do until you get there, and then you try to fix it. Do you know what I mean? I've learned how to love myself. That's a biggie. I always hated how I looked and that whole thing of, because even when I thought I was looking great and the photographer shot me, I didn't look like what I thought I looked, and I hated the sweating. It took me a long time to get to like me. Last year and this year, I said to myself, oh, I know why I don't like me. I don't look the way I want to look. And then I said, oh, but it's inside. I know it sounds crazy here, but it really went like that. And I found out that I like my personality. I like what people like about me. It's inside of me. And I may never look as gorgeous as I see some of the models or some of those people. You know, that's not what beauty is. It's not always the exterior. I found that it's the interior. So I've accepted me now in the mirror, and I love inside of me.
Well, I've learned a lot. I've learned patience. I've learned not to worry so much. Try to worry not so much about what the people say about you, because you compare what they say about everybody, and you live just very truthful within your own life. If you can wake up in the morning with a clear conscience and smile, first waking up without even the cup of coffee, you're all right with yourself. And then let the world go, because you can't stop it by trying to correct every little thing that's said about you. You know, that's one of the things I've learned, and that's something I live by now. And I wake up in pretty good moods.
Why I felt so comfortable leaving America was because everyone treated me not as a black person. They treated me just as a star. I have left America because my success was in another country, and my boyfriend was in another country.
Yeah.
I came here in 1966 was the first time. Rivers Deep Mountains High was a huge success in London. It was it. I had an energy. There was an energy here that brought something out in me that excited me. And I look forward to coming back each time. I've lived long enough to know when I found my place, and traveling here since 1966 and now finally getting a place here, I basically have decided to live on this side for the next half of my life.
I went to England for a couple of years, and then I met a man, and I lived 3 years with him in his country in Germany. And then I bought a house in the meantime in the south of France, and I started to rebuild that. So I'm in and out of there. That's not a place where I can go often.
Where's home?
Zurich, Switzerland.
Why Zurich?
Because my boyfriend was moved there to run the company, and I always wanted to go to Switzerland, and I was very happy.
Is your boyfriend?